これがだ
If you were to just read a single chapter of the manga, or just watch a single episode of the anime, it'd be clear to you that Attack on Titan isn't like those other animes or mangas. It is far different than all the others. I mean, it doesn't star no goody two-shoe protagonist who just found a new power and is gonna use it to save the world. No, nowhere close to that. It follows Eren Yeager, a man that has now obtained the power of the Titans, and he will use it to slaughter and kill every other Titan as revenge. And then he later finds out that it's all a cause of the people outside of his hometown, or outside of his island, more so. And so his plan is to kill and slaughter every single human being on the face of the earth, except for his family and friends, just to keep them safe. This man is no goody two-shoes. He's a psychopath. The amount of trauma he has endured, like, this man has more than PTSD. It's on a whole nother level with this man. And season 4 has completely brought that to a new light. It has showed everyone how Eren truly is and what his true intentions are. Especially recently with season 4 part 2 and the rumbling, we now get to see firsthand how Eren has carried out his plan and how he's actually been planning this ever since he was just a child. Like, this kid was secretly thinking about how he's going to kill every human being on the planet, except for his family and friends. He was like 6 when he started thinking of this plan. 6! He is a psychopath to the core. But despite him, I'm not going to be talking about him in this video. No. Nor will I actually be talking about season 4. I'm going to be talking about season 3. But specifically, I'm going to be talking about humanity's best leader, Erwin Smith. Now, this video is more of an analysis rather than an explanation or a description. But not only is it going to be about Erwin, but it's going to mostly cover what I believe to be Erwin's true theme in Attack on Titan. He does have a theme, and it does play multiple times in the anime, but to me at least, it isn't actually his theme. And his true theme is opening 5, aka season 3 part 2's opening. That opening perfectly describes Erwin's entire life, from his birth to his death. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the actual video that's associated with the opening. No, I'm talking about the song. The song by Linked Horizon is fantastic, first of all. I think we can all agree with that. It is a great opening overall. The song is spectacular. It's just amazing. But the video, of course, is a kind of more of a summary to season 3 as part 2 as a whole. But the song itself perfectly describes Erwin. And yet, because of the way season 3 part 2 is, season 3 part 2 is kind of like the conclusion to Erwin's life, which is why the song perfectly complements it. The song describes him from his birth to his death. Yes, it even somehow, believe it or not, it even clues his death and how he dies and everything related to that. If everyone should remember his death scene. It's a very popular and dramatic scene. And the song itself perfectly describes many things about him, including that death. Yes, it does describe the actual season 3 part 2 to a degree, but it is more focused on Erwin himself than season 3 part 2. And I'm going to explain how in this video. first line of the OP is actually in German, not in Japanese. Der Weg des Jesus und der Leuten. I probably pronounced that wrong. I highly doubt any Germans are even watching this, but if you are, I'm sorry for pronouncing it wrong. I can't pronounce German. But this first line translates to the road of aspirations and corpses. This, right off the bat, first line of the whole song, we're already told the main theme of this song and Erwin's life as a whole. What Hajime Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, envisioned for Erwin Smith and his life and what it symbolizes, here it is. First line, we're already told it. The road of aspirations and corpses. And as I go on throughout this analysis, this line, this theme, it will make more sense as we go along. Second line of the OP. The music drops and Linked Horizon starts actually singing. First line from Linked Horizon. That day, humanity received a grim reminder. This is talking about the day where Bertholdt and the Colossal Titan and Reiner and the Armored Titan destroyed the wall. When the Colossal Titan first appeared after centuries, back when Eren was just a kid, that day when his mom died, that is the day this is talking about. That is the day humanity as a whole received a grim reminder of how they are actually the slaves of the Titans, and it's not vice versa, despite what they've been thinking in the past years. Next, it gives an uneasy feeling, the way shadows move along in almost no light. The uncertain future blooms on thin ice, ready to be picked at any time. For the first part, it is showing how a lot of people, they're starting to get suspicious that there's something out there. There's something that is coming back after a long time, a threat that no one is expecting, yet at the same time, they're starting to fret it. These shadows that they're talking about, these are the Titans, these are the things that they're starting to fear that might come back, that's giving them this uneasy feeling. These Titans are just moving along secretly. But what Titans? Specifically the Marleyan Titans, the warrior soldiers, Reiner, Annie, Bertholdt, etc. These are the specific shadows. They're moving along through the darkness, hiding underneath everybody's noses, pretending to be normal soldiers, normal Eldians, when in reality they're actually from Marley, being sent here to do whatever they need to do, try to get the founder. That's what their goal is. They're moving along, and people are starting to get suspicious of that. As for the second line, it's talking about how there's an uncertain future. They don't know what's to come. That's clear that's what Erwin has been saying this entire time. He can't tell the future. Him and Levi, this is the thing they've been saying numerous times. No one knows the future. No one knows what's going to happen as a result of their decisions. And it's on thin ice what could happen. It's like a 50% chance. They do this, this could happen, or this could happen. They don't know. Nobody knows, to be honest. Just how many times have our napes been caressed by those cold hands upon night's arrival? This is a line that isn't clear at first. I mean, it's a question. That's first off, it's a question, but at the same time, it's kind of misleading. These cold hands that it speaks about aren't the Eldians, but it's the Marleyans. You hear, just how many times have our napes been caressed by those cold hands? It's misleading because it makes you think, oh, this is from the Marleyans' point of views, and how the Eldians have been killing the Titans by hitting their napes. But no, this is talking about vice versa. Though it's not literal, the Titans aren't quite literally going at the Eldians' napes, trying to kill them that way. No, that's what the Eldians are doing. It's figurative language, though, talking about how, though the Eldians are the ones going after the Titans and hitting them on the napes, the way they're being oppressed by the Titans is just as bad as a feeling, if not worse, as how the Eldians are killing them. Turning our backs to the dusk, we instead chose to cling to the back of the burning hope. This goes back to how no one knows what will happen in the future. Erwin and Levi have been saying this numerous times again. They do not know what is going to happen. And it's because of that uncertainty, they have no other choice but to pick a direction. They have to pick a path. They can't just stay there forever. And so they pick the path. In this case, it's turning their backs to the dusk. And instead, and it says, we instead chose to cling to the back of a burning hope. Again, Erwin and his hope, his dream, his vision. He wants to go outside the walls, find out the truth. This is his vision, his burning hope. And since he is the commander, all the other soldiers cling on to his burning hope. This line is the line that actually starts talking about Erwin and how he's the commander. Everyone is kind of relying on him. Everyone's just following what he says. And though it's kind of selfish of him, it's his vision and it's what he wants. And we chased after the truth, knowing very well the path to it would also lead to hell. Again, here we see the symbol of truth and how everyone, or specifically Erwin, wants to know the truth. He wants to see what's outside the walls. It is his vision, it's his dream. And now, because everyone's following that vision of his, everyone is now chasing after that truth. Not just him anymore. And then the line, knowing very well the path to it would also lead to hell. They are fully aware that Erwin's vision is going to screw them up. This is why on that day when all the soldiers, all the trainees were there listening to Erwin's speech and a bunch of people left. If you remember that scene, good on you. This is specifically talking about that scene. These people gave their hearts, Shinzo Sasageo. They gave their hearts to Erwin, but at the same time, they fully knew the Survey Corps would lead to hell. They would lead to death. They knew they were screwed. They knew they were giving up their lives by doing this, but they did it regardless, following Erwin, following his vision, his path. Oh yes, this line. This line is one of my favorite lines in the whole song. What are you willing to give up to make sure this dream will come true? Now, just listening to this line in the actual song, if you're just listening to the song, you won't get the full experience of this line. What do I mean by this? The line is in quotes. This is a quote that is being said. Listening to the song will not help you understand that. You need to actually be reading the lyrics to get that. It's a quote that is being said by Linked Horizon here. And it's a quote by Erwin. What are you willing to give up to make sure this dream will come true? These are the words that Erwin have said multiple times. He's asked multiple Survey Corps members, multiple soldiers, this exact line, including Erwin, including Levi, including Armin, including Mikasa, including John, etc., etc. He is now aware that all these soldiers are following his dream, are following his vision. They now are following what he wants, which is the truth. So now he's asking them, what is it that they're willing to give up that makes sure the dream will come true? They're giving in their hearts. They now want this dream to come true. But there must surely be something that they're willing to give up that gets them to that point. There's no way that they can just go on and achieve that dream without actually giving up something. If it's their family, if it's their friends, if it's themselves, if it's something physical, non-physical, tangible, non-tangible, it doesn't matter. It's just, what is it? That's what Erwin is asking the soldiers, because he wants to know what is at stake here. The music picks up, and then the line is said, "The devil sweetly whispers as we lay down corpses to make our path." If you're watching the video while actually listening to the song, though not at this specific part, but near the end of the video, there's a part that shows Erwin with a bunch of people that have died in the past behind him. That part in the video and this line right here that's gonna come back time and time again, it is the main theme of this whole song. The devil is whispering in Erwin's ear. This is causing his selfishness to bring others into his dream of finding the truth. It's his vision, but because of his selfishness, he is now trying to get all the soldiers to commit to that, even if it means death of all of them. And that's exactly what happens. As we lay down the corpses to make our path, he's fully aware that many are gonna die to achieve this. But to him, at least, they're not dying in vain. This is all their deaths are according to plan for him. They're all because of his vision. He believes that all these deaths are going to lay down the path to the truth, which is his vision, which is what he wants. It's his dream. He wants these people to die, because if they don't die, he will never get to that truth. Here we have another quote. "What's outside these walls? The truth we sought after in our younger days." Only the first half of that part is an actual quote. The second half isn't. The part that's a question, "What's outside these walls?" that part's a quote. The rest isn't. Yet this line still hits very hard. Everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people ask this question. A lot of people in Paradise ask this question. What is outside of these walls? No one, very little amounts of people actually got to go outside those walls. Only some soldiers of the Survey Corps get to go outside those walls. No one else does. So of course there's a lot of people that want to know what's outside there. Yet, as we found out, they're being silenced. Just like Erwin and his dad. They're being silenced by the military. They're being silenced by the royals. The supposed King Fritz, or who we later find out is fake. But these people are being silenced. That is what led to Erwin's dad's death. And yet he, now being aware of that silencing, still asks this. He remains asking this question, despite knowing what it's going to lead to for him. It's going to lead to death, just like with his dad. Yet he continues to ask it without a care. And the second part, "The truth we sought after in our younger days," shows how that is the exact thing that Erwin asked his dad back when he was young, back when his dad was alive. The question that actually led to Erwin's dad's death. It is what he wanted back when he was younger. What a lot of people wanted to know back when they were younger, but after finding out that they're being silenced, they no longer wanted it. That's why it says younger days specifically. No one wants it now in their older days. When they're adults, they don't care about that information anymore. No one except for Erwin. And now we get to the end of the chorus and the main theme of the whole song. "Finally, it is within our grasp, just across the path of corpses." Here it is brought up again, that path of corpses. And it is the main theme of the song, and that's why it's brought up numerous times within the song. The "finally, it's within our grasp" part is directly talking about Season 3, Part 2 specifically, of how they went back to Shiganshina. They're now going to try to take it back, try to take back the wall, and get the Titans out of there. They're now finally have a chance. It is now within their grasp. They are going to try to beat the Titans. Humanity has finally beat the Titans. But it is just across the path of corpses. The sacrifices, all the deaths, is right beyond there. The people need to die in order to actually get to that truth. It's in your grasp, but you can't actually grasp it. You can't actually get it, though it's in your grasp. You need to go past the corpse, past all the corpses, the path of corpses, just to get it. Otherwise, you will not get it. This also ties in to the scene and how Erwin led all those recruits to their deaths. They're all charging at the Beast Titan, all charging at Zeke. The suicide charge, Zeke threw the boulders, killed them all off, all except for Flock. Yeah. This is also talking about that, how all of those people are the path of corpses. Erwin, in that moment, realized that the truth is in his grasp, but is past that path of corpses. And so, because of that, he made the ultimate decision that he was going to lead all the soldiers to their deaths, and those deaths were going to line the path of corpses for the other soldiers, for Eren, for Levi, for Hanji, all those remaining soldiers that are still alive. All these recruits are going to die to finish the path so all the remaining soldiers can finally find the truth. The only problem with that, Erwin must sacrifice himself for that path as well.